Victor Hale had everything money could buy. 3 houses, a watch worth more than most cars, a number in his bank account with more zeros than he could spend in 3 lifetimes. And every single night, he lay awake at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling. From the outside, Victor had won. He'd built a fortune from nothing, and the world clapped for him. But somewhere along the way, the fortune stopped belonging to him, and he started belonging to it. Every asset needed watching. Every account needed guarding. Every person who smiled at him, he wondered what they really wanted. He had more than anyone he knew, and he trusted no one. The money didn't feel like freedom anymore. It felt like a job he could never quit. Lawyers, managers, calls at midnight, a lock on every door. He owned so much that all he did, all day, was protect it. He wasn't living with his wealth, he was serving it. His health started to go first. The doctor called it stress. Victor called it Tuesday. Then his oldest friend stopped calling. Tired, he said, of never knowing if Victor liked him or just tolerated him. Victor told himself he didn't need friends. He had assets. But at night, the ceiling stared back, and the number in the account never once helped him sleep. At 63, Victor sat alone in his enormous study, surrounded by everything he owned, feeling like he owned nothing at all. There was a knock at the service door. An old man in a red knit hat, there to fix the boiler, stepped in, wiping his hands. "Big house," the old man said, looking around. "Quiet, though." "I have everything," Victor answered, almost defensively. The old man nodded slowly. "Everything except a good night's sleep. I can see it on your face." He picked up his tools. "Funny thing about carrying a lot. Nobody tells you. You can just put it down." And then he left. But the words stayed. You can just put it down. Victor didn't sleep that night either. But this time, he wasn't guarding anything. He was thinking about what all of it was actually for, about who would fight over it when he was gone, about how heavy it had all become. The next morning, Victor called his lawyer, not to add another lock, to start giving it away. It didn't happen overnight. He funded a hospital wing. He paid off the debts of the town he grew up in. He set up schools, quietly, with no name on the door. Each thing he gave away, something strange happened. He felt lighter. Not poorer, lighter. His managers thought he'd lost his mind. His accountant begged him to stop. Victor just smiled and signed the next check. For the first time in 40 years, the money was doing something other than sitting in a vault, being guarded. He kept the small house, the one he actually liked. He sold the watch and gave the money to the friend he'd once pushed away, with a note that just said, "Thank you for putting up with me." The night after he gave away the last of it, Victor lay down in a plain bedroom, in a plain house, with almost nothing left to protect. And he slept. Deeply. All the way to morning. For the first time in 30 years. When Victor died, years later, there was no fortune to fight over. No lawyers circling. Just a small house, a short line of people who genuinely missed him, and a town full of strangers whose lives were quietly better because of a man they never met. He didn't die rich. He died light. And somewhere, a boiler repairman in a red knit hat would have smiled, because Victor had finally learned the thing the old man knew all along. You can just put it down. Subscribe for more stories. This is a story, not financial advice.